Hi everyone, it's Mrs. O'Brien, and today we're going to continue our lesson on persuasive letter writing. Today we're going to be taking our rough draft, or our first draft letter that we worked on from last week, and turning it into a final draft letter. So let's review quickly the parts of a friendly letter. You have your date, and that's where you're entering the current date, the day you're writing your letter. I've put May 4th, 2020. Your greeting is where you say who you're sending the letter to, who you're writing the letter to. So here I'll put Dear Mrs. O'Brien because you'll be addressing it to one of your teachers. And remember that you have that comma after that greeting. The body is where you do the bulk of your writing. So that's where you state your opinion, which is which animal you think makes a great class pet. And it's where you list your 2 reasons and your support for those reasons. Super important that you are supporting your reasons this week, guys. We really want to see the fact that you chose that makes it a great class pet, but why does that fact make it a great class pet? So for each reason, you should support it. You're going to finish with your closing. I've put sincerely. You could put your friend or your student. And at the end, you make sure you put your comma right there, really important. And then where it says signature, that's where you put your name. So I've just put Annabelle, put my daughter's name in there. Okay, so last week, you did your first draft of your letter writing. And this is sort of like another organizer for your letter writing. So this week what we're doing is we're taking that and we are putting it into this format right here. And see how it no longer says date. It's just got a line for it. And it doesn't say the word dear anymore. You write the word dear. So I've taken my organizer from last week. I'll take this blank sheet, or you can always use your own paper. We put our date here, our greeting right there, Dear Mrs. O'Brien, and then we start with our opinion. So in our first draft, I want a baby chick for our class. This is going to be our first paragraph of our letter. So let's look at it here. I've written in red so you can see the same. And I wrote sort of the same thing, but this was my first draft. So I'm going to expand a little bit. Might add some different words. I'm going to use some transition words. We'll point that out as we go. Dear Mrs. O'Brien, I would love a baby chick for our class pet. They are so fluffy and sweet. A baby chick would make a great pet for so many reasons. So I turned this into a full paragraph, and I just added that I think they're soft, fluffy, and sweet. And so if you're doing a rabbit, then you might also want to add right there, I think they're so fluffy and sweet, or I think they're so soft and cuddly. Wasn't something that I had written in my planner, but since this is my final draft, I'm expanding on it. Reason number 2 will become our second paragraph. This is in purple. I'm going to write it in purple here so that you can see. I know it's my second paragraph because I've skipped to the next line and I've indented. I've left this space right here. The first reason a baby chick would be a good pet is they are adorable and lovable. This makes them a good pet because students and teachers will like having them in the room because they are so cute. So I want you to notice that when I went from my opinion paragraph to my first reason paragraph, I had a transition. The first reason. Remember how we did transitions whenever we were writing our reviews? Same thing here. I have my transition. I've listed my fact. They are adorable and lovable. And then I've supported that fact by telling them why that makes them a good class pet. Okay. Reason number 2. I've written it in blue, so you're going to see it in blue on my final draft to help you see where I've gone from. Another new paragraph. So that will mean another indentation, another transition. I skipped down to this next line for my new paragraph. I left that space. Another reason a baby chick would be a good pet is you can keep them almost anywhere. This is helpful because the chicks will not take up too much space in the room. So again, let's just take a look at that, okay? My transition, another reason. And then I'm putting my fact in. Another reason a baby chick would make a good pet is you can keep them almost anywhere. So that's my fact that I took from my writing organizer, right? That you had then put on your first draft that now is coming up in your final draft. That's my fact. I'm supporting my fact in a second sentence, and I'm telling them why that makes it a good class pet. So the extra paragraph that I have on here that you did not have in your first draft planner is just following up, restating my opinion of what I think would make a good class pet and just trying to convince you a little bit more. Baby chicks are so cute. I think we should get a baby chick for our class pet. So again, a little bit like we did the reviews, we're restating our opinion and we're asking for an action. We're saying, Mrs. O'Brien, get me a baby chick for our class pet. Because it's a letter, we're going to finish up with sincerely, our comma, and sign your name. I've signed my daughter's name here, Annabelle. So the other thing I want to point out to you that you may have noticed in my writing is that it took me 2 pages to do this. It may take you 2 or 3, or maybe you're doing it on your own sheet. But if you've printed out this sheet and it's taking you 2 pages, I just put an X down here where we would be putting our closing and our signature. And on this page, I just put an X up here where the date and the greeting is, because you don't need to have that information on every page. The date and the greeting goes on the top of the first page, and the signature, the closing and the signature goes on the bottom of the last page. You don't have to X those out. Those are just options for you. Okay, guys, so some takeaways. As you're going from your rough draft to your final draft, you'll want to be adding transition words for your new paragraphs. You'll want to be turning your opinion and your reasons into new paragraphs, and you may want to add a little bit of extra descriptions in there. Please make sure that with each fact, you have another sentence that supports that fact. All right, bye guys.